Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope everybody had a good week. Happy Saturday. Today is January 18th, 2025. Welcome back to the channel. Shall we review what happened last week? Let's dive right in. Okay, so first things first, starting with Bitcoin. So I'll go over this second line over here. This is a new line that I drew, which I'm going to delete on this video. So I'll kind of explain my thought process here. So let's actually see if you can just, all right. Okay, so last time we're talking about how, we need to stay above the $92,000 mark. And I had some doubt as to whether we would stay above it just because of this long shadow to the downside. And I wasn't really sure if we're going to end up retesting below 90,000. But throughout the course of the week, we actually did have a pretty good rebound back to the upside. Of course, we'll always keep this on the back of our mind, but so far we're doing pretty well, and we've broken above $100,000 again. Like I've said before, this is the main yellow trend line that we need to pay attention to, and currently is standing at around $111,000. Okay, so the more we delay, the higher the prices go because it's obviously a positive slope. Okay, so the reason I drew this yellow trend line, the second one over here, that is obviously a negative slope, is because when we're looking at it from a larger time scale, we had this sort of like a lower high compared to this one over here. And I just want to see if this was going to be a sort of like a legitimate trend line. Are we going to get rejected off of it? But we actually ended up breaking through. So I honestly don't really care about this trend line anymore. So let's go ahead and delete it. We had a pretty good, successful retest and a rebound to the upside from that point. And so now we shift our focus back to the one and only original yellow trend line, but also keeping in mind of this price point right here. Now, macro-wise, the U.S. presidential inauguration is happening, this coming week, and the general stance is pro cryptocurrency, not just the new, the president-elect, but also a lot of the people who are going to be part of that government is going to be pro crypto. I won't go into too much detail about this new meme coin that apparently the new president-elect has launched, but you guys are welcome to Google that and look into it. I might look into it when I have time later this week, but me personally, I'm done buying meme coins, as in I'm neither going to sell nor buy for now, and we'll touch base on it, later. Okay, right now I'm only focused on Bitcoin and the other layer ones. Okay, so pretty exciting news with Solana. Okay, mm, but before we move on, let's go over Ethereum. So it's pretty sad in the Ethereum market. I mean, really, there's not a whole lot going on, and it just seems to be sort of just going sideways. Um, Very sad to see, but not a whole lot going on over here. So we'll kind of come back to that later once we see some significant movements. But speaking of significant price movement, check out Solana. So as you guys know, Solana is my absolute favorite layer one currency. Um, been a huge fan of it, since 2021. I always thought it was a better currency than Ethereum. I mean, you don't even have to really talk about all the fancy blockchain technology and all the technical stuff because, you know, I don't know if any of you guys are, but I personally am not a blockchain expert. Um, but from a user experience standpoint, I mean, whenever I'm trying to do some sort of transaction, whether that is, buying NFT or simply buying meme coins or just even holding it as an asset, like a standalone asset, is much, much easier to deal with Solana, whether that is transaction time, the gas fee, what have you. Okay, so, unless Ethereum makes some sort of significant change in the future, I just don't see a reason why somebody would use Ethereum over Solana. Now, do I think that there are other layer ones out there that could potentially be better than Solana in the future? Sure. I know a lot of people talk about all these other stuff, including Sui, but right now my main focus is on Solana. That's where my conviction is, and that's where 30% of my salary from my tax, um, my taxable income is being invested into. Okay. And I'm very excited, right? Because now I've been talking about Solana at $187 mark for the past almost nearly a month now, since we talked about it end of December. This was a close call. At this point, we weren't sure whether we were going to break down all the way down to the $160 mark. But look at this. Since then, and before I was, you know, before I start this video, I was checking the charts this morning, and when I was checking it earlier, it was actually around 240, you know, 2 to 244-ish. So, that's a 30% increase from $187 just over a 4-day period. But as we're talking, as we're speaking on this video, this is happening live, okay? The price has broken through 250, around $254 per Solana coin right now. So let's just go ahead and move this a little bit up, okay? Guys, that's a 35% increase in 4 days. Tell me another, what I would call like a blue chip asset um, that you guys have conviction in that's performing the same way right now, okay? I would like to be convinced, but this is where my conviction stands, okay? I believe Solana, this is the way. This is how we're going to get wealthy this bull cycle, okay? Solana layer 1 coin, Solana meme coins, that's it. Okay. I mean, I'm joking. Of course, that's not it. We must diversify. I am invested in Ethereum meme coins. Ended up converting most of my meme coins actually. Ended up converting most, if not almost all of my Ethereum into Turbo. And, I've been talking about Turbo for the past, few months now as well. Um, but Solana, I have a good amount of Solana because that's where my paycheck goes. And of course, I'm also holding Bitcoin because that is the OG. And I was actually thinking about, whether I should sell all of my asset once the bull cycle is over for this year, or whether I should keep some. And I've kind of decided that actually I might keep zero point 0.1 Bitcoin. And the reason is It's a very silly reason, but I've been watching a lot of videos, I believe including Michael Saylor's, CEO of MicroStrategy. And I believe the title of the video was something along the lines of all you need to have is zero point 0.1 Bitcoin, to be wealthy or rich or what have you. And so, I mean, I don't really need to sell all of my Bitcoin. So, for example, I think I could afford to keep zero point 0.1 Bitcoin in my account and I won't lose sleep over it. It's more of just sort of for entertainment purposes, if you will. And I'm curious as well. I mean, if they're saying that one Bitcoin is going to reach $1 million, well, that's going to be $100,000 for zero point 0.1 Bitcoin. I mean, it's not a small amount of money, but the idea is that I'm hoping for, you know, more bull cycles in the future. And if that is the case, if things are looking good, then I'm going to start reinvesting. So start purchasing Bitcoin with cash starting in 2027 to prepare for the next cycle. And we'll talk about that later also, okay, when we're almost near the end of the bull cycle. In any case, I'm very happy with Solana. So where do we go from here, right? So if we zoom out a little bit, the previous all-time high was around, 263, okay, 264-ish. So we have about $10 to go until we break the all-time high. And it's very possible that we could break all-time high right around the time of the U.S. presidential inauguration. Usually, once you see really large candles like these, most of the time we're going to have a little bit of retracement. Okay, so it is less likely, excuse me. Um, it is less likely that we will not see any retracement. I imagine we'll probably retest somewhere around the $246-ish, 245. I really wouldn't be surprised if we also retest somewhere around the 220 mark. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I'm probably going to buy a little more this coming Friday. Um, and I think that would be a pretty good point to, a pretty good place to buy more Solana because, the inauguration will happen. People may sell on the news, as they say. We'll probably see a little bit of retracement. If you could retest $220, that would be a great entry price for me as well. I am a little doubtful if we'll ever retest $187. I mean, we all had so many days, so many opportunities to buy in at $187, but I think there's a good chance that we might have now we're past that point. Okay, so our next target should be around $220, where there were a lot of retests in the past. Okay, and see, as we're talking, we're going up to 256. But most of the time, I mean, today alone, we're seeing like a 16+% increase. In my humble experience, most of the time, this is going to come back down and we're going to retest some sort of support line. And I think that's around 220. We'll probably wrap up here. There's not a whole lot to say about the meme coins right now. There's actually not a whole lot happening. I imagine a lot of people are more focused on the layer ones or maybe the president's the president-elect's meme coin that I was talking about. I haven't looked at the price movement yet. But people are probably more concerned about, investing in Solana or some other layer one right now. Um, but eventually, when they start to, you know, sort of convert that or swap that, they're less likely going to capitulate by swapping it back into cash or Bitcoin. We kind of, I mean, I don't think people really call it trickle down economy in crypto, but they rather call it like a rotation of assets. And people tend to swap the Solana into um, sort of like higher risk assets. For example, meme coins being the biggest out of all of them, because now they want to take that profit and snowball it into a larger profit by investing into sort of like higher risk but higher return, smaller market cap cryptocurrencies. So that is my prediction. I imagine the meme coins will also start to see, um, crazy price movement, perhaps like starting, like at the earliest tomorrow, but could happen Monday through Friday, as people start to swap their Solana into the Solana meme coins. Okay. Well, once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening in. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.